Hey guys, welcome to Shuffle. Today we're going to go ahead and talk about the new cards that got revealed at GenCon over the weekend for Lorcana. We will not be diving into any of the reprints, as the reprints are cards that have already been out. So the first card I want to look at is Dumbo, Ninth Wonder of the Universe. This is an amethyst card that costs 4 and is inkable, 3/3 stat line in Quest for 1. It has a couple abilities on it. It is evasive, and it has called Breaking Records, which states exert this card, pay 1 ink, draw a card, and gain a lore, which is interesting ability. So you can essentially just tap the card, pay an ink, draw a card, and gain a lore, which I think is really good value for 1 ink. On top of that, it has another ability called Your Other Characters with Evasive also gain. Tap this card, pay 1 ink, and draw a card and gain 1 lore. This is phenomenal. As we know, Lorcana is a game about card draw, and card draw is king. Card draw allows us to have consistent plays and options. It will definitely shake up the meta next set, especially since rotation's around the corner. We're losing a lot of our package cards, especially I believe they said, Ravensburger said that they will not be reprinting the bounce package, which for purple loses a lot of the ability to gain instant lore and also bounce around rabbits or other cards to get card draw. This will take care of that issue, I believe. This paired with Genie, right, will give you an option to pay an ink to either draw a card and gain a lore, or you could just quest with Genie and gain the 2 lore after it's been played. This also works with Peter Pan's and any other evasive cards that are being played in red and red purple. The next card I kind of want to take a look at with you is the new Goofy that just got shown. It is a 2-cost inkable. It is a 2/2 stat line, and it quests for 1. It has the ability Family Vacation. Once during your turn, whenever this character moves to a location, you may move one of your other characters to that location for free. If you do, draw a card. This does give card draw, which I said before is king, but I don't think that this card will see much play. There really isn't location eccentric decks. Maybe this could help those niche decks with their card draw problem, but the only real decks that are using locations are like the DKP deck, which uses Maduck Manor, and the red purple or some purple decks that like to use the library or likes to use the Queen's Castle. I don't think this deck will see much play, as those colors, blue, green, and green purple may see it, but I think there's just better cards overall for that 2 slot. The next card we're going to go ahead and take a look at is Mickey Mouse Brave Little Prince. This is a 3-cost inkable card with 2/2 stat line that has a shift 5 ability, so you can shift this character onto any other Mickey Mouse for the shift 5 ability. It has evasive, and then it also has a ability called Crowning Achievement. While this character has a card underneath him, he gains 3 attack, 3 defense, and 3 lore. Essentially what this does is it makes any Mickey Mouse that you shift this on top of, it makes this Mickey Mouse a brave little tailor. So it's an interesting ability. It does shift 5. I believe this is one of the few cards, if not the only card that we've seen so far, that the shift costs more than the actual card cost itself. So you're shifting up instead of shifting down like you do with other cards. It's an interesting ability. I don't know if it will see any play, but it does make it to where this card becomes a brave little tailor, essentially, once you shift it. The next card we're looking at is Jasmine. It's a still card, 5-cost inkable, 3/7 stat line, quest for 2. Has 2 abilities. The first one is Take the Leap. During your turn, this character gains evasive, so if you're going up against evasive style decks, this is a high body, so that way it can challenge multiple times if it has to. And it also has another ability called Now's My Chance. Choose and discard a card. This character gains Challenger 3 this turn. So if you choose any card in your hand and you discard it, this becomes a Challenger 3. So whenever you challenge into a character or location, it now becomes a 6/7. Interesting card. I think it'll be good in challenge focused decks. So something like maybe a Ruby Steel would be a good deck for this to be in. The only problem I see with this is that the ability requires you to discard a card, and Ruby still already has an issue currently with card draw. So the fifth card we're going to take a look at is Powerline himself. He's a Ruby card that costs 6. He has a 6/4 stat line. He shifts for 4 and has the ability Singer 9. He also has another ability that states once during your turn, whenever this character sings a song, look at the top 4 cards of your deck that we no longer have. You may reveal a song that costs 9 or less and play it for free. Put the rest of the cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Interesting card. I think this card is going to see a lot of play. It's basically Big Ursula. They're basically combining Ursula with Ariel, and now you have Powerline. And on top of that, the Shift 4 ability is pretty strong in my opinion. Turn 4 singing Pirate's Life is pretty strong, I can see. On top of that, if you can pull any other song out, it is still, you've basically gotten value out of it. You've basically gotten the value out of the card. Since it's Singer 9, still doesn't feel bad if you whiff on the top 4 of your deck. And this is going to go into a song heavy deck. So, you know, you have maybe a Red Blue DKP might play this. You have a couple of songs in there. What else is there? Red, maybe Red Blue might be, or actually Red Yellow could be a good singing deck. But the ability to play any 2 songs and the whole format for free is really good. It does limit itself to the once per turn, so you can't loop this indefinitely with other cards. But I think overall, once you get the value of it just singing one time, getting 2 cards out there that are strong and powerful, it's pretty much golden. The next card that we are looking at is 121. It is a Ruby card that costs 9. Inkable is a song. The cost of it is Seen Together 9. It says each player draws 2 cards and gains 2 lore. If 2 or more characters sing the song, ready them. They can't quest for the rest of this turn. So this does kind of match up, at least flavor-wise, with Powerline. Powerline can sing this, draw 2 cards, and gain 2 lore. And then you can also use Powerline's ability to, you know, after you sing this, to search, you know, the top 4 of your library, see if you find another song and play it. You could, you know, if you hit 121 again, you could play it again. And then they can get ready again. So you're basically, you're gaining 2 lore, and then Pirate's Life, you'll gain another 2 lore, and then you'll draw 2 cards. So in one turn, you could essentially gain 4 lore and 2 cards by singing twice with Powerline. The next card we were looking at, or we're going to look at, is Minnie Mouse Sweetheart Princess. It is a 4-cost inkable 2/4 card, quest for 2, and it has 2 abilities on it. So the first ability is Royal Favor. Your character's name, Mickey Mouse, gains support. So if Mickey Mouse quests and you have this card out, the attack of that Mickey Mouse can be put onto another character on the field. It could be your character, or it could be your opponent's character. And that kind of leads us into the second ability called Bye Bye Now, which states, whenever this character quests, you may banish chosen exerted character with 5 attack or more. Now, this is essentially World's Greatest Criminal Mind on a body. It's interesting. I kind of like it. It kind of reminds me of the Ursula that they printed a couple sets ago, where it's a 4-cost uninkable, actually same stat line, 2/4 quest for 2, and it stated whenever this character quested, you could choose, you have to discard a card. So I'm kind of wondering if they're just using this as like a replacement for that card and just using a different body. But it's essentially World's Greatest Criminal Mind on a body. It's pretty decent and good. I don't really know what kind of decks we brew in next set, but there's a lot of high attack power decks out there. Then this may see some play. The next card that we're looking at is a Emerald card named Max Goof, Rebellious Teen. It's a 3-cost inkable with a 2/2 stat line, a quest for 1, and it has the ability Personal Soundtrack. When you play this character, you may pay 1 less. I'm sorry. When you play this character, you may pay 1 to return a song card that costs 3 or less from your discard to your hand. So this is kind of a green steel deck, or a bend to my will deck that uses cards that are 3 or less to like have you discard, or green steel that lets you do damage that our cards cost 3 or less. It's pretty decent. It's not too bad. Depending on what songs we get this set and what songs we're losing, I don't know how impactful this card could be. But if you were green steel, for instance, in the Affinity format, and you're still using Big Ursula, you could essentially use this card to get back a Strength of Raging Fire, or Let the Storm Rage On, or any other card, or any other card that lets you discard that costs 3 or less. You can double sing it. So it kind of has some cool looping abilities for at least Infinity format. I don't think it'll be seeing anything in core constructed going forward. The next card we have up is it's an item card. It is Amethyst, costs 2, is inkable, called the Magic Feather. Has the ability, now you can fly. When you play this item, choose a character of yours. While this character is in play, that character gains evasive. And it says grounded, pay 3 ink, return this item to your hand. So essentially this is an item to give any character on your field the keyword evasive, which is interesting. I don't know if this will see play, but what I can see though is that if you're up against, actually, you know what, I can see this as a tech card. If the meta shifts over to a very evasive focused meta, this will be tech cards for those evasive cards. If not, this will mostly be a ink, right? So people use it as ink or a tech card. It's good, but it's not amazing. It's just there, right? It's mediocre. The next card we're gonna look at is a Amethyst 2 cost inkable card, 1/4 Timothy Q Mouse. As ability, let's show him Dumbo. While you have a character with evasive in play, this character gains +1 lore. That 1/4 body is pretty strong. We look at it, especially if you think about Daisy Duck. Daisy Duck has a 1/4 body and is very difficult to get rid of until the mid portion of the game. This coming out on turn 2, I think, is decent. There are characters out there that have evasive turn 3. So if you play this turn 2, and you say you play Peter Pan turn 3, this is questing for 2 lore the turn that it can quest for. So it's pretty decent. It's good for tempo. It survives a lot of characters recently that are out right now. I think it's pretty decent. I don't know how much. The last card that was revealed during GenCon is also another Amethyst card. It costs 3. It's inkable, 2/2 body. The card's name is Dumbo the Flying Elephant. This card also has evasive on it, and it has the ability Aerial Duo. When you play this character, chosen character gains evasive until the start of your next turn. So a lot of these purple cards that we see coming out are going to be really diving into that evasive stat line. I mean, that evasive keyword. It really cares about evasive. So I think that going forward, we're going to see a very evasive heavy meta is what we're going to look at. And I think as far as we can see, all the cards that are revealed, the lack of removal is going to make it to where those keywords matter. So like evasive and challenger and ward are going to be really prominent, as spot removal is probably, and board wipes are probably going to be taken out. It's going to become more of a challenge-centric meta. But that's pretty much all the cards that got revealed at GenCon. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. If you have any thoughts about this at all, you can go ahead and put them down in the comments. I read all the comments. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a very great day.